I wouldn't say threatening with weapons or anything, but I felt, and I know my friends felt, threat for our lives. There was an altercation after I left with some of my buddies that weren't involved in this at all. And they told my friends that they were going to kill them and they wanted to fight and all this like crazy stuff.
I didn't hear the part where they said they were going to kill him and stuff. She was like, "Hey, you have like TikTok or anything like that? Your face looks really familiar."
He was like, "If I was y'all right now, I would leave before y'all get hurt. Y'all need to leave right now."
We just watched 3 people at the same place at the same time on the same date with 3 different iterations of the story. And y'all know what? That's not even the worst of it. But y'all already know we here for it and we're going to react to it right here on Champ Talk Reactions. So let's get it.
No mask, no face. Champ Talk. Say the name.
Welcome back to Champ Talk Reactions. Today, we are reacting to Brandon Tatum's second sit-down interview with some of Nolan Wells' quote-unquote best friends. And this video is catching more backlash than the first one, as former Officer Tatum has drawn his line in the sand and continues his push to make these boys look like the victim, all the while criticizing Nolan Wells' family for doing whatever they feel is best to get to the truth and get justice for their son. But what he doesn't have a problem with is putting these boys on his platform to make them look like the victim and wonder why he's so hated by the black community. With all of this being said, is raising questions about why the boys continue to go to platforms like TMZ and former Officer Brandon Tatum. Is it because they are giving them a platform to feel comfortable and they're not going to push back, instead of a neutral platform like Nancy Grace that's just trying to get to the bottom of the case? Before we get into it, the goal for today's video is 50 likes and 15 hypes if you can see the hype button from your phone. Make sure you go ahead and hit the subscribe button and the notification bell while you're there. I don't want to keep y'all waiting too long, so let's go ahead and jump back into the video. Let's get it.
So, I mean, we all felt, we were kind of shaken up about that. It was weird because it was our first encounter as a group. And I think it's also like just crazy that people will like look at you in the eye and tell you they'll kill you because they believe you killed your best friend and you have nothing to do with it.
And Morgan and Jax, were you guys there?
Yes, we were there.
I was there.
I didn't hear the part where they said they were going to kill him and stuff, but I did hear whenever she came up to him originally, she was like, "Hey, you have like TikTok or anything like that? Your face looks really familiar." And he was like, "No, I don't have TikTok or anything like that." And she was like, "Oh, okay." And then walked off and then came back with, like you said, the first interview on her phone and showing him. She's like, "So this isn't you. Either you have a doppelganger or this is you." And he was like, "Well, yeah, that's me." And then we got the check and we bounced and we were waiting outside for everybody else to get out of there.
So you're telling me that your life felt threatened over someone who thought they saw you on TikTok?
And while we're waiting outside is whenever some of our other buddies that aren't even on social media that we were just there with was getting told that other people are going to kill them and all that kind of stuff.
So how did that make you guys feel when did you think they were serious? Did you think it was just people trying to make a name for themselves by confronting you in front of others? Like, what was your take on that, Morgan?
I think it was just like, I was in the general area of where one of our buddies was, where this altercation happened. And I actually got into a conversation with a fellow next to me that wasn't even involved. And he told me straight up, he was like, "If I was y'all right now, I would leave before y'all get hurt. Y'all need to leave right now. I'm just watching out for y'all and making sure y'all are safe." And I mean, I wouldn't say that those people would have physically done something in that moment, but I think they were playing like almost like a mental game.
The thing that gets me about all of this right here is Warren is out here telling this story like he actually lived it, and then turns around to say, "I wasn't right there when they said it. My friends told me this, my friends told me that. The group came outside and told me this, and they told me that." But he's telling this secondhand story with all the emotion like somebody said it directly to him. But then when Jax is asked, Jax is like, I hear no evil. I see no evil. Nobody said nothing to me. I did not hear that. And Morgan, man, I know you're not from a place like where I'm from, but that was no mental game right there, man. What that person did was look out for you. Where I'm from, if somebody come up to you and be like, hey, man, y'all might want to get up out of here, that's looking out. Looking out for the best interests of you, your friends, your group, all y'all. So you better get to getting. And it don't mean that it's going to happen, but they letting you know that something could pop off. It could get cracking at any moment. Now, look, y'all, I can sit here all day picking apart that restaurant story, but that's not even the part that got people on the internet the most heated. Because instead of them just sticking to their own story, they done something way worse. They went after Nolan's mom.
How do you think this should have played out? Because I always question in my mind that when I go back, I look at what happened, I look at the initial stories with Nolan, and you guys knew him, right? I didn't know him. I know none of you guys. I just had a chance to meet you guys more recently. But how do you think this should have gone? If you could control the environment, Nolan is found deceased. How do you guys think that this should have been put out to the world?
Tell me that's not a leading ass question. But we gonna see what they gotta say about it.
So first off, I wish that none of this would ever happen. I wish Nolan could still be here with us today. And I wish that, like I said, none of this would ever happen. Like I wish that all this could be erased and Nolan could be here tomorrow. I mean, that's more than anything. But other than that, I feel like his mom blasting us on social media from the get-go, saying that he was out there with Warren and another guy. That's where it first started to take off. And then also the fact that she posted a picture of me and Morgan and another guy and Nolan on the boat together, blasting that out there, pushing this narrative, kind of, I guess.
Come on. No.
I wish that would have never happened either. And I don't think if those would have never happened, a lot of this stuff wouldn't have been as viral or gone all over the country at this point. I mean, this is a countrywide news story that is just blown out of proportion.
It's too much information out there, man. We all know, we all have seen it. Listen, that picture that everybody has seen with the 4 boys on the boat, and you got Nolan right there. When his mom posted that on Facebook, it said, this is a correction regarding the picture of my son. He was wearing blue shorts. She did not say, go attack these boys. She did not say, hey, go run up on them. Hey, they did nothing. Insert racism here. She said, this is an update. He was wearing blue shorts.
And Ed, as an attorney that's representing these boys, I mean, what does that make you feel like? You know, do you feel like you got a good case here, or, you know, what's your perspective in that? Because, you know, people are online and obviously they know who you are. Obviously they know you represented Donald Trump in some pretty high profile cases. And so now that you've joined, or at least now you work for the young men here, you hear them say things like they've been accosted, they've been, you know, threatened online. Does that make your case a greater case, or how do you work within what's happening to these young men?
Hold up, before he even go, where's Tristan? Where's the black kid at? You representing everybody else except for the black kid. How fortunate.
Well, unfortunately, I wish there was no case. I wish this hadn't happened. But unfortunately, because these things did happen, there is a case, and now there's multiple cases.
Right.
And I'm going to tell you something. If you're out there and you lied about these guys, you lied about my guys, you lied about Tyler's guys here, if you lied about Morgan, if you lied about Jax, if you lied about Warren, we're going to get you. And you're going to be hauled into court. You're going to be held accountable. And it's going to be very painful.
Like the public is not going to have opinions. People are going to fall on one side. And I have not heard nobody say you done this. People are saying they could have. This could have happened. What would have happened? What did happen? People are not saying, yo, you directly done it. Unless they heard that transcript that went viral and your name is Bart. Allegedly.
And what I would say to the people who have done that is now's your chance. If you want to apologize and retract before you find yourself in court, you should probably do that now. Because if you don't do that, once you're in court, now you just can't leave. You won't be able to get out of it.
Look at him laughing.
And we're not going to name names because there's some other folks who are doing that, and we want to be better than that. And I want to emphasize this, right? We're not here to guess. We're not here to speculate. We're only going to deal in facts, right? And here's the most important thing, right? We don't know how Nolan Wells died. No one here is saying we know. But what we do know is Morgan, Jax, and Warren had nothing whatsoever to do with Nolan Wells' death. And that's what's important. And unfortunately, because there are people who want to divide a town and come in from the outside and tell people what to think and pit neighbor against neighbor, it compounds the tragedy. It magnifies the tragedy. And I just want to say this. Here's why it's an even bigger tragedy. Because my friends here, Morgan, Jax, and Warren, these guys are not just the finest that Ocean Springs has to offer, finest that Mississippi has to offer. These are the finest young men that America has to offer.
Listen, I'm not going to dispute that. I don't know. We don't know what happened to Nolan right now, but all we know is he was with these boys. Now listen, and listen close. I'm not accusing anyone of anything. We just need to get to the bottom of it. The case is not over. All we know is these interviews with former Officer Brandon Tatum do not make y'all look good. It make you look worse. It make it look like you just going on comfortable platforms where you can go say something without any type of pushback because they have drawn a line and they want you to look innocent too. Bottom line, it doesn't look good for him and it doesn't look good for y'all. But hey, what can I say? Former Officer Tatum already know why a lot of people don't rock with him. Let's go to the big screen so we can get ready to get up out of here. Listen, man, I'm going to leave y'all with this. If the stories that they're telling in these interviews that they're coming out with are true, then going around trying to tie people up in litigation who have public opinions, we call it the court of public opinion. As long as people are not going around pointing a finger at you saying, you Jax, you Warren, you Morgan, you done it, then people have the right to speculate. I'm just letting y'all know it make it look bad. We already know what side of the tracks you gonna fall on any and every issue dealing with black people in this country. It is what it is, man. Y'all already know what it is. This right here is Champ Talk Reactions. Over here, we throw the peace sign up. We turn it sideways. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. 50 likes, 15 hypes. I'll see y'all on the next video. Peace.